Massaging your body, caring for your body, expanding the field of awareness into movement and into sight, tuning in and discerning what's best for you, bringing awareness to the bathroom or drinking water or tea, smiling at your neighbor, petting your cat. Great, welcome everyone into the space. I wanted to offer the opportunity to practice with a sutta. So again, finding a meditation posture that's comfortable for you, standing, sitting, lying down. I'm really fond of lying down or reclining as a formal posture. I find that it supports ease and relaxation and comfort, which support peace and ease and presence. It's very underrated in this Western go, 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 do, do, do society. And if you're sleepy and you're likely to fall asleep, it's probably not the best posture. And if you're programmed to go, 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 do, 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 it can be really nice to tell the heart, mind, body to stop and be. It's a precious gift of being. So finding your posture. If closing the eyes is supportive for you, allowing the eyes to close. Or if eyes open is supportive, allowing the gaze to rest. If you're lying down, gazing at the ceiling can be really nice. Gazing at the ceiling can be really nice, particularly if you have a smooth ceiling. It's kind of soothes the nervous system. Or if you're seated, you can gaze down at the floor about 45 degrees, or maybe there's a blossom or a flame that you can gaze upon, something that's soothing and nourishing. And resting into yourself.
resting into the moment. We'll begin with 3 sounds of the bell. Mind, body, and speech in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of this bell. May all who hear awaken from forgetfulness and sorrow and transcend all anxiety. Noticing what's alive in your heart, mind, body. I already feel so much love for each of you in my body as I rest into presence. Thank you for offering your names and pronouns and physical locations. It helps me to be here with you. I offer these words from the Buddha, relevant 2,600 years ago, relevant today, relevant tomorrow. Noticing how your heart, mind, body respond as they receive these words. Maybe repeating them silently to yourself if that helps you to feel them and receive them. Maybe just hearing, you do you, discerning what's most supportive for you in the moment. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness. And who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright. Straightforward and gentle in speech. Humble and not conceited. Contented and easily satisfied. Unburdened with duties. And frugal in their ways. peaceful and calm. And wise and skillful. Not proud or demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing, wishing, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be. Whether they are weak or strong, great or mighty, medium, short or small, born or to be born. May all beings live with ease. Whether they are weak or strong, the great or the mighty, the seen and the unseen, may all beings live with ease. Just as an ideal parent protects with their life their child, their only child. So may we cherish the life of every living being, radiating upwards toward the skies and downwards to the depths, outward and unbounded, free from anger and ill will. Whether we are standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding two fixed views, the pure-hearted one free from all sense desires is not born again into this world. Noticing how those words, how that invitation from Buddha lands in your heart mind, lands in your body. What's the residue from receiving this invitation? Noticing which words or phrases continue to reverberate in your system, noticing what the residue is. And as you're ready, expanding this field of awareness to bring in movement and sight, perhaps massaging or stretching the body. With awareness, of course. Really listening in. How does this body want to move or be moved? Touching our own individual and collective wisdom. If you've been sitting in a chair or cross-legged and it works for your body, it can be nice to fold forward. A little seated qigong can also be nice if that's available to you. You might start with the crown of the head, a little tapping. If your nails are long, of course, extending your fingers so that the little pads of your fingers are what's tapping, not your nails. The nails don't feel so good. Perhaps noticing how it kind of wakes up the system. And then extending the arms and stretching the wrists if that's available to you. It can be really nice to pull the tips of the fingers down with elbows bent or arms straight, as works for your body in this moment. Not a right way to do this. And you might try the other arm, the other hand, if that works for you. Modifying to meet your body, your heart, your mind. Seems to be what my body needs. And then shaking out the arms is really nice, the hands. And once the wrists are released, you might bring the right hand over the left shoulder and tap your way down your arm, starting with the back, reaching back as far as you can. You might get the very top of the kidney. And then tapping down the arm, just tapping, feeling that energy and that movement. When you get to the hand, you can clap. And then tap your way back down the inside and through the armpit and down the left side of the body. Maybe even to the hip and down the leg. You do you. And then you switch sides. Left hand reaches across as far back as is comfortable, and then down the top of the body. When you get to the clap, and back through the center, through the armpit and down the side. And of course, we each are moving at our own pace. So going through that a total of 3 cycles, if that works for you at your own rhythm. Here in the space, we can enjoy the sound of the bell from the church next door. Just resting into ourselves wherever we are. Thank you for practicing with me. I feel much more alive after engaging in that little bit of Qigong. Just a few minutes of a little bit of movement of energy can be really impactful. I wonder if the residue from the Metta Sutta is still alive in you, if there are words that have shown up for you. I have some other things on this heart mind that I want to share with you, and I want to do a little bit of harvesting of words and energy from that before I bring more information in to the space. Yeah, thanks for what you shared. That practice of the Metta Sutta, as was named, it's traditionally offered as a mother protects her child, her only child. And I'm really interested, I'm not the only one, I'm really interested in having the Metta Sutta be inclusive and welcoming for everyone and as free from activation as possible. There's lots of human beings who, if they had a mother, had challenging relationships with their mother and didn't feel that experience from their mother, or who didn't have a mother, or are not mothers, or like all of the things that the baggage that can be embedded in that. My mother joined me. Some of you know I spent 2 months at Bhavana Society in West Virginia in 2013, and my mother joined me at the end, which was great. I'm glad she was willing to come there and be with me for a few days. It was moments of that were really lovely, really lovely. I had a hug at the front of the meditation hall. one day. It was the best hug we've ever shared. And she sat in the hall with me and we recited this chant. And I got nothing from her when we came to that line, like I am her only child. She was a single mom. I had this hope for like a moment of intimacy or a moment of connection or a moment for thinking of me. We're sitting right next to each other in this hall, nothing. I was so hurt. It was so painful to me. And now, again, many of you know that she passed a couple of years ago now. We're coming up on the anniversary of that, actually. It was November 23rd, 2023. So the 2-year anniversary is around the corner. And in the healing that came for me after her passing, I realized, oh, right, she wasn't thinking of me. She was thinking of the suffering that she experienced with her mother. Like, duh. Like we're all very self-absorbed as much as we don't want to be. And as we mature more, we shed it a little bit. And some of us are further on the different ends of that journey. Like, oh yeah, my mom wished that her mother could have protected her from her dad. My mom told me many times that she was mad at her mother for not protecting her from her father, my mother's father, my grandmother's husband, my grandfather. I know that suffering is not unique as much as we might wish for it to be. It's just not reality. It's not reality. And so I like to bring in ideal parent. Let's get the gender out of it. And then an ideal parent. The traditional translation, again, this comes from the Pali, so who knows exactly, but the translation that I was taught, is simply, as a mother protects with their life, their child, their only child. And if I get myself out of the human realm and into the animal kingdom, I'm like, oh yeah, like these images of moms and they're protective and yeah, like I can really feel it viscerally. And when I look at the human realm, it's just like, that's not what I experience. It's not what I see. There's too much gunk. There's too much dukkha. The mom or the parents or the grandparent, the caregiver, the adopted parent, the chosen parent is navigating their own dukkha. They're navigating their own shit. And they don't protect with their life, their child, their only child. They don't have the capacity. It's not from a lack of wanting to. It's not from a lack of wholesomeness in their hearts. It's because of the conditions of modern day society. It's too much. And yes, sure, there's some parents who are amazing and wonderful and protect the lives of everyone and everything. Great. More power to you. Be that parent if you have the capacity. Be that parent. And that's not what I experienced. And so I like to language this in a way that I hope will be more supportive and more welcoming and more inspiring and not activating. I also love the line of unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways. We've spoken about this before. It's like, okay, I don't have enough. I don't have enough resources or whatever you think it is, money or time and energy. Or how are you spending it? How are you spending your time? How are you spending your money? How are you spending your energy? Right? Oh, we can become more frugal in our expenditure of what we have and then feel the greater abundance. Like it works both ways. It doesn't have to be all getting more. It can be giving less and then you have more, right? We need to practicing to get that word out of my vocabulary. We can practice to offer from our abundance, from the opposite of our reserve. I want to say excess, but it doesn't have to be excess, but from our fullness, from our capacity we offer, not out of our reserve. So it means getting enough sleep and eating enough food and having the exercise that's appropriate for us and that balance so that we can care for ourselves and tend to ourselves. For as we do that, we have something to offer from and goodness. This world needs our offerings. It needs our hearts and our minds and our bodies, whatever our bodies have to offer, whatever our hearts have to offer, whatever our minds have to offer, whether it's a creative mind or an analytical mind or a writing mind or a speaking mind or a being mind or an acting heart. It's like, yes, we need it. And we need those heart, minds, and bodies to be resourced so that we can offer our best. Every day, every moment, there's some new atrocity or some new heartbreak. And this isn't new. And there's a way in these so-called United States of America that it's being seen more apparently than, at least for this cis white body, in my lifetime, in my 53 years being born in the United States, of ancestors who had been in the United States for a while, born white and cisgender, living a mostly straight life, able-bodied, neurotypical, pretty much. I haven't really been aware of transgressions in such a large capacity as I'm aware of now from people with as much power as people have who are leading this country. I mean, this country is maybe the richest, I'm not certain, but certainly this country is one of the richest countries in the world. And this city, San Francisco, one of the most affluent cities in this country. I think Marin County, just north of us, might be the most affluent county in the country. If not, I think it's the third. I had all this data once upon a time. I don't have it at the moment, so it's all rough. But you get what I'm pointing to. And then you look around and you see how much suffering there is. Persecution and disregard and sweeping away. And you just need to open your eyes and look around right here. Even if you don't live in San Francisco, wherever you are, if you walk a few blocks or drive a couple miles, there's so much suffering, there's so much despair. And Buddha taught to journey the middle path, which is not falling into either extreme. He didn't say that being rich is bad. The monastics were supported by some very rich people during the time of the Buddha. The monastics were supported by some altruistic rulers, some altruistic rulers of the time. And the monastics welcomed everyone into the monastic fold. You didn't have to be from the Brahmin class. You didn't have to be from the Sakin class, the warrior class, the noble caste, to be welcomed as a monastic disciple of the awakened one. Dalit practitioners, what was then known as untouchables, were welcomed into the ranks of the noble ones, the followers of the teachings of Buddha. And then, yeah, there was a hierarchy and tons of misogyny and lots of problems. And when you ordained, if you ordained on Monday from the Dalit, and on Tuesday, the next day, someone ordained from the Brahmin caste, the Brahmin, that Brahmin, was junior to below the Dalit who had ordained the day before. Buddha was like, washing out this whole caste system. And because of Ananda and his stepmother / auntie, he did welcome women to receive full ordination and practice with him and train under him. And there are many quotes that say that women could receive full arhatship and full awakening. And it was a sexist time. We are living in a sexist time. Hello. It was even more sexist. And so, yeah, there's a lot of a mess in there and lots of things that I take offense to, and lots of the ways that the tradition has continued is certainly very sexist. We live in a patriarchal society. So it wasn't perfect. And that action of just wiping out the whole caste system within the monastic followers of Buddha, it's such a beautiful aspiration that we can strive for here in 2025, soon to be 2026. And I think also in there is not a making someone wrong depending on their political views or perspectives, but listening, opening our hearts to listen to see if we can understand. And if there's listening happening on both sides, we might have the space to express ours and be heard and understood. Not that we're going to agree with each other. Let's not have that be the focus necessarily, but to listen to each other with our hearts, our minds, and our bodies. In the Metta Sutta, humble and not conceited is a part of the language. And I think that we can get caught in our views. No, my view is right. My view is against persecution. My view is for the people. And get all high and mighty. I have this problem. We get on our soapbox. That's not humility. That's conceit. That's conceit that we know. And guess what? We don't know. We have this little tiny sliver of knowledge and wisdom. My hope is that in a moment we can access our own hearts. We can know our own hearts, minds, and bodies and move and speak and act from that place. We can access that discernment and wisdom. That's my hope for me and for you, for everybody. And this sutta helps me to know, to remember what I'm inspiring toward. Very concrete steps to this open-mindedness, open-heartedness, receptivity, communication, peaceful and kind and wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature. Contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in our ways, peaceful and kind and wise and skillful. I don't have it right now, but there's something in the language about not being harsh with our speech. That is one of those growth edges for me. I want to get loud and proud and so much Philly conditioning inside of me. And there's a time and a place for that. And it's not how I want to lead. And I think it's happening more and more, that there's more welcoming and more humility and more, here it is, straightforward and gentle in speech. That's the language from the Buddha. Straightforward and gentle in speech. I'm great at straightforward. No problem. I got that one. Gentle? I'm growing into that. And then some people are so gentle in their speech. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you trying to say? I want to know. I'm interested. But they're so gentle. It's like, I can't even hear them. And they're so gentle, I can't even hear them. And I love Buddhism. I love it. And I love my Quaker roots. And I love the healing of the 12-step journey. All three of those spiritual threads are so foundational to me. And it's easy to be gentle if you feel your own safety. You feel your own security. You don't feel threatened. It's easy to be gentle. And some people are so terrified that they're just kind of tiny and soft, So that maybe they seem like they're gentle, but just from a place of terror, it's not healthy. It's not a healthy gentleness. Straightforward and gentle in speech. That's my aspiration. That's my aspiration. Yeah, I think all the great religions all point to love. They all point to love. And our practice is to see that and recognize that and touch that in our own lives. Whatever the path is that helps us to get there, the idea that there's a right path and this is the way is such bullshit. It's like there are many paths. And in any moment, for any personality or any disposition or any amalgamation of human, one step on one path might be more supportive than another step on another path. And there's so many billions of people. Of course, we need many paths. We need many paths. And if we actually attune to those wisdom teachings, whatever the tradition, we can recognize directly that they all lead to love. They're all rooted in love. And they get twisted and co-opted, fucking manifest destiny, like all kinds of shit. And the essence is pure. And purity is, I don't know, purity also has all these other connotations, which are not what I'm pointing to, but like when you get to the pith of something, if you really can get to the core, it's just love, it's just abundance, it's just opportunity. Whether it's the core of an apple or an avocado or a pomegranate, like it's bursting with opportunity. And the potency of that seed, right? I think I've said this before, probably not recently, but there's this whole Buddhist thing about the lotus. In the Plum Village tradition, we talk a lot about no mud, no lotus. Like you need the muck in order for the lotus to bloom. And maybe I'll riff on that more in a couple minutes. I did hear the request. And I just wanted to name that if you've seen a lotus seed pod, sometimes you'll see the seed pod and it just got the hollow spots where the seeds were. It reminds me a little bit of maybe some of us have seen sliced persimmons more than we've seen a lotus seed pod. But there's like those spots where the seeds were. You can see it in sliced apples too, I guess, but the apples usually have their seeds in them. Anyway, those lotus seeds, brimming with possibility in life, they can lie dormant for thousands of years. And then once they're ingested by the creature in the mud, the lizard, the turtle, the frog, like whatever, they're ingested by that and then they shit them out again. Like that's an important part of the process. But in their digestive tract, they get split open and that's how they can germinate. They actually have to be ingested. And so when we can resource ourselves and have the resiliency to actually ingest the crap that is being spewed at us by the government of the United States of America, by lots of different social media platforms, by someone who you pass on the street, like the hate, if we have the capacities to actually turn toward it and see that and witness it and digest it, the beauty that can come through that, the inspiration to act for love and to act for good and to stand up for what you believe in. Like, that's love. That's love. And that can build beloved community. We act from that place of our grounds. Let's offer up some merit. Massage your body, prepare to stand. So this bell to stand. And to bow to one another and all that creates the Sangha. And then bringing it into your heart, maybe giving voice. Opening up your mic if you like to anyone with whom you'd like to share the merit of our practice. I'm thinking of all the immigrants who are showing up for their regular ICE check-ins or being summoned for hearings and the fear that I witness in them, and hope that our practice can help support them and keep them safer and safer, and even in the persecution to feel a little less fear when it's possible for them. Anybody else? Give voice to anybody? Repeating after me. May the fruits of our practice be of benefit to all beings and bring peace and liberation to all.